You know, in today's regulatory environment, it's virtually impossible to violate rules. When this is something that the public really doesn't understand, and if you read things in the newspaper and you see somebody, violate a rule, you say, well, they're always doing this. But it's impossible for you to for a violation to go undetected. Certainly not for a considerable period of time. And when you consider the volumes of trading, the trillions of dollars of trading that go on, I mean, our firm, for example, alone, we trade in excess of $1 trillion a year. So, and that's one firm. So when you look at the scope of the trading that goes on today in Wall Street, and you look at what we would consider to be the infractions, they're relatively small. Primarily because, of all the regulation. And most firms do try to comply with that. So we determined that the best thing for us to do was basically to take the human being out of the equation. Now that had two advantages in our industry. Number one, when you take the human being out of the equation, you solve your regulatory problems. Because the nature of any human being, certainly anyone on Wall Street, is, the better deal you give the customer, the worse deal it is for you, because you're on the other side of the transaction. It's like going into any store. The store sells you television at a higher price, they're going to make more money. They sell you at a lower price, their profit, goes down accordingly. So as honest as you can find, you try and get people to be. There's this normal, natural pull, that you have to deal with. So by taking the human being out of the equation to a great extent and turning it over to a computer to make the decision, I guess you could also program the computer to violate a regulation, but we haven't gotten there yet. The issue is by taking the human being out of the factor and putting someone like Josh to go back and run all sorts of algorithms, and he can explain that to you, because every time he tries to explain it to anyone in the Madoff family, we walk out of the room after 15 minutes. But by doing
maybe we don't want him to do that.
Exactly. By doing that, we were able to automate the process, and where today, just to give you an example of the scope of that, we were able to take an operation that had, he's probably going to ask me for a raise after this, where we had, let's say, 40 people, doing 300,000 transactions a day, which is what our normal transaction count would be. We have a team headed by Josh and what, 5 people, 6 people?
Yes, 7, I guess, including.
Okay, 7 people, handling that same thing that 50 people, might have been involved in. And this is what all market-making firms, do today. That's the way they operate.
Well, so I'm going to ask this of both of you, but I'm going to start with Mickey. So this is great. We've gotten rid of all these irrational, flawed, error-prone, corrupt people, potentially so.